I'm Srikanth I'm the co-founder and CEO of HomeLane. We are about 10 years old and about 2,200 people strong. We are in the business of delivering end-to-end home interiors to middle-class homes across India right now. We are across the length and breadth of the country pretty much. We have been using PeopleCues for the last 3 to 4 years now for employee engagement. It's actually been quite useful in terms of it gives us many opportunities to actually communicate quickly, transparently, and consistently with our colleagues across board, and we've really enjoyed using it. We execute projects for a living. We deliver about 1,000 completed homes to customers where we complete the homes. And generally, this follows a typical, design, build, and execute kind of a project cycle. So each one of these design, build, and execute is done by different teams. Unless and until you have like 100% sync between these teams, the ball will always get dropped. So having not only a very high performance culture, but having each one of them trust each other explicitly is extremely important in our business, especially in a business where things happen in a series and things are, not done by one person. It's done by multiple teams who are dependent on each other. So it's super important for us to drive this performance culture, drive this also values of trust, transparency across the org, so that each one of them believes in one another and does a good job as far as the customer is concerned. How do you continue to grow, continue to add people, and continue the same level of engagement? And that's where employee engagement management system comes in very handy. It helps us communicate with them our policies, our reward and recognition, the fact that we are consistent across geographies in terms of incentives, in terms of variable pay, in terms of any compensation for that matter. In terms of how the company is doing, we have town halls every quarter, and we make sure that every single person in the company is aware of whether it's good news or bad news for that matter, in equal measure. All of that is extremely important. Reward and recognition, learning and development again. How do you move from your current role to a upgraded role in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years? We also encourage them to take a lot of courses which we ourselves host, and encourage them to actually complete them so that they can move from their current role to maybe a larger role in the next. So in all these aspects, I think it's extremely important for us to engage consistently, continuously, make sure that we are defining a career path, be it irrespective of whatever role that you may be doing at HomeLane, and showing them that they have something to aspire to all the time. For all of these reasons, it's extremely important for us to use it.
One challenge that we typically end up facing is that, one, we have all of the metrics in place, but we're not being able to track it, or the other way around, that we do not have metrics defined. So then how do you start from there, and how do you get to a certain stage where you're now able to sit across the table from your employee and tell them that these are the areas that they're doing brilliantly well, and there are some of the others that they're not able to, and how is it that then I can help you be able to achieve some of those goals, so that then that's a shared target between the employee, the manager, as well as the organization.
We conduct something called an employee NPS every 6 months. We do it religiously and we do it anonymously. I don't know about any other customer of yours, but we have always wanted to do it only anonymously, and we wanted a third party only to do it. Nobody knows what is the feedback that a specific employee is giving, and we don't want to know. We just want to know how each department is doing, how's technology doing, how's marketing doing, how's sales doing, how is design doing, etc. How are the project managers thinking? So we can actually get feedback from them, far more honest feedback, if it is anonymous than not. PeopleCues actually has helped us implement that significantly quickly and very effectively, I would say. I can today confidently say that sitting here in Bangalore, I can generally tell you the pulse of our 2,200 employees, even though obviously most of them may not be sitting in the same city. I can get that pulse when we do the employee NPS and generally know which direction to steer the boat in, which is extremely important. If you ask for feedback, you will get feedback. If you ask for anonymous feedback, you will get accurate feedback. And that's one big thing that PeopleCues has helped us implement over the last few years. It's been super helpful. It's actually given us the ability to look at the mirror and kind of do course corrections as and when required, so that from a people, HR, and performance perspective, we are steering the boat in the right direction.
So everybody has a different sort of an angle, and we will, as HR leaders, have to take care of all of those nuances that come across in some of these conversations that we have with people one-on-one or through these surveys that we run. And hence, a platform is necessary. And I'm already diverting to that as to how is it that PeopleCues has really helped us in being able to channelize all of these information, put them in one place so that all of us have visibility, all of us are working towards the same goal, be it leadership, be it the founders, be it our HR VPs, the L&D partners that we have, everybody. And we strive for the same things together.
So for me, the one thing that stands out with X to 10X is the following. They think a startup first. They probably, because of all the founders themselves being from the startup environment, even before they started X to 10X, they think the startup first, or rather in this case, the customer first. Very much they put themselves in our shoes and then think whether it's reasonable or not, whatever they're asking. That's one thing which I found very, very good. When you are obviously a startup, speed is very important and you need to be very nimble on your feet. Whether you're doing these surveys, whether you're taking feedback, whether you have to get data cuts, how are women employees feeling in our organization? How are people who are not in Bangalore feeling in our organization? All these data cuts are very, very significant and important for us. So for us to get that feedback very quickly, X210X has been super helpful in giving us these cuts. It's just not a platform. It's platform along with the service that matters. And both the platform, it's been very, very stable, and the service has been super helpful. So that's how I would definitely recommend this to any other founder if I'm speaking to one.
When we did not have PeopleCues in the system, we were doing a lot of manual stuff, and we were doing our reviews mostly on manual sheets, Google Sheets, which was not something that was very, very efficient for us. It used to take a lot of time, and it also did not used to give us a lot of insights, not just for the HR team, but it was also a very, very vast and manual effort for the entire leadership team. However, since the time PeopleCues has kind of come into the picture, this is something which has become synonymous to the organization. When we talk PeopleCues, people know that it's the review time that we are talking about. Over a period of time, we've also been able to customize a lot of things according to our needs, and I think that's also something which has helped our employees evolve, right from setting objectives to having certain questions pre-uploaded for the ease of our employees, and overall dashboards that are presented to the leadership in a very, very user interface, the user-friendly manner. That's how something PeopleCues has helped us over a period of time.
Over the last couple of years that I have personally worked with the PeopleCues team, I understand that whatever they are being able to bring to us in terms of all their offerings is obviously very well thought through. And these are the problems that are being faced by every organization, and every leader goes back to them and says that these are some of the asks, and hence they are able to even put that in place and be able to deliver what is it that the HR leaders are asking of them. One thing that I really appreciate about the PeopleCues team is that they take the time off to listen to all of the concerns and try and figure out what is it that can be customized to the likes of what a HomeLane is asking for, and how different would it be from somebody else that they have been working with, right? Because it is not a one size fits all. It has to be customized to everybody's requirements, and that is something that is really something that comes out in each of the conversations that we have with the PeopleCues team. And that's why I think it's not like something that is already in the system. There's a certain template that I have to work out of. That's not something that has worked for me, unfortunately, in the past. Right? And that's where I moved away from that, and I said I need a little bit more customization, because there are different elements that I'm playing with right now. There's ENPS as a separate element. In my reviews platform also, we have objectives, we have some open questions, we have our organizational principles, we have our training elements, we have feedback for managers also that comes up as an element over there. So all of these things are not so easily customizable or personalized in any other platform. They obviously keep going back and forth on some of these things, but I feel that in today's world, I should be able to click like 2-3 buttons and be able to customize everything to my liking, or how is it that I would like to see the inputs coming through for me. With all of these personalizations in place, we've also been able to bring a lot more ease in the way the process is also set up for the employees. Because come to think of it, all employees understand that whenever there's a performance review cycle, they have to really go back in time and figure out, how many months of work that they have been able to put in, try and recollect some of those pieces and start putting that on a document to be able to showcase to their manager that, this is what I've been doing over the last 9 months, 12 months, 6 months, depending on your review cycle, right? But what we've been able to do is there are these calibration notes that we have put together. There are real-time feedback that we're getting from managers. We're getting real-time inputs from the Metabase tool that really flow into the PeopleCues link itself, which is really helpful, because then the person does not really need to recollect what happened a couple of months ago, which is very difficult and it becomes very overwhelming for that person to have to fill that up on one particular day, right? So those things have really helped us being able to figure out like a benchmark for all managers to be able to get everybody on a certain rating scale, which we understand that there is a on a 5-point rating scale, who are those people that would typically be my fully meeting expectations or far exceeding expectations. That has been standardized across the org at this point, which I feel is very, very essential. Succession planning has become very, very easy for us, because now we understand that there are historic inputs that we have on the tool from a bunch of cycles back, right? And we understand that when is it that was the last promotion for this person? When is it that I can anticipate that I can move them upwards? Because training interventions are also now part of this. My L&D team picks up cues from there. So everything is integrated in one place. It's like a one-stop solution for everything that we would have otherwise been going all around for. So I think that's something that has really been helpful for us. It's not only about the money, it's not only about travel or anything else right now, right? It's like the bigger picture. So all of those pieces are some things that every HR leader continues to think about, and in the fraternity that I also keep communicating, everybody is discussing as to how is it that we can make this more meaningful for the employee at the end of the day. If they are happy with what they are doing, if they feel they're productive at what they are doing, they will definitely stick around. So attrition will get taken care of, recognition will get taken care of, career progressions will get taken care of, and so all of that being available in a certain space, we just have to identify that. So there are multiple tools in the market for sure, but you just need to understand what is it that clicks with your vibe in terms of your organization, with the model that you are preferring to. And if there is an organization like PeopleCues that can help you customize to the extent possible, why not? I mean, this is something that we've all been waiting for, and we've been doing performance reviews, ENPSs for a very long time in a very, very traditional way. And this is like a fresh breath of air for all of the HR leaders over there. So I would really urge that everybody tries this for once, and I'm sure that it will click with them as well.
Initially, when we started off with PeopleCues, it was more of an engagement tool for us. We were trying to address the employee pulse via the tool. However, eventually, when we started picking up the input from the review, from the engagement factor also into our reviews, how it helped us is that we were able to imbibe and kind of blend the two together. Not just look at the kind of feedback that we are getting for our managers, our leadership, but also able to customize the entire tool so that we're also generically able to get some feedback around the kind of values and culture we have in our organization. So in our overall review scenario, our organization principles play a very important part, and we've been able to customize that, and we've also been able to imbibe that as a part of our review system, which has worked very, very effectively and beautifully for us. That said, I think we've also been able to build a lot of anonymity in the system, which has given us a lot of trust factor from the employees. They do understand that we are gauging feedback, we are gathering feedback, but we are gathering it in the right sense, and we are also utilizing it in the right sense, so that we are able to empower them and get the right sort of growth for everybody in the system. Earlier on, we had to refer to multiple Google Sheets to see what is one employee's information that needs to possibly be looked through for getting some historic information or see how the employee has progressed. But now we're able to capture that in a much better way, and that's all clocked in at one place. So if I have to look at feedback for one particular employee over the period of time since the person has been with us, we'll be easily able to see how the person has performed, what has been the rating, how has the managerial score been, etc., etc. Not just that, I think we're also able to capture training needs for our employees, not just what is their requirement, but also something that their managers would like to recommend. So that's also something that we've been able to work around. So I think the plus point for us, frankly, with PeopleCues has been the team, to be honest. When we actually started off with the tool, there were a lot of things that we kind of had to give as a feedback. But I think over last 3 years, we've seen a lot of changes happen, and the feedback that we have given has actually been imbibed. And every 6 months, we are seeing a new launch happening, which is just making our lives easier. Secondly, I think kudos to the entire team. Your availability and your support to us, even on non-working days, has been immense, which has actually helped us run our review cycle through and through without any glitches.
A pleasure working with you. I mean, the team says that a lot of times, right? So it's one thing to be able to set something up and have like a customer success team right in the front when you're implementing it. But there's another thing when we know that there's somebody who I can fall back on when there's a concern, right? As much as AI is coming into place, it's not a bot that I want to talk to. I want to talk to a person at the end of the day. That is applicable for HR people as well. That's something that I tell all of my team members, right? While there are some of these tools that are in place, I need that there is a 100% connect that happens with all of the team members, so that everybody knows that there's a person that I can talk to in case I'm in trouble. I think we have also been able to help the team be able to get on their own on a couple of things, right? And that's great, right? I also push my team to be able to know that there is Tanmay, who is our representative at PeopleCues, but you should try and do things on your own so that we are also learning in the bargain. But I think having, like I said, a strong customer success team is great. Being able to think through the problems with us and tell us that, no, this works better, no, I've seen that this works better, are great inputs that I feel that we and my team really feel that are coming through from the team or you specifically whenever we have a chat. So I think those are really important things that a team will really look forward to, because we are always evolving as a team. The processes are evolving. We are not really exposed to all of those best practices that are happening, and you are one of our gateways to some of those conversations. So it's really heartening to have those chats with you.